In case you've been living under a rock for the last month, you might have missed the release of the Astartes 2 teaser, which has completely turned Warhammer 40K fans like myself into screaming fangirls, eagerly anticipating its future release. The teaser was created by Digital Bones, or Simon Peterson, who is well known for not just his recent work on the secret level episode of Warhammer 40K, but also, and more importantly, his solo creation of the short web series simply known as Astartes, which through its gritty, fast-paced and massively lore-accurate depiction of a Space Marine raid, not only became a viral sensation, but also managed to land him a job at Games Workshop as a result. And on that note, if you haven't seen the Astartes web series, I highly recommend that you go check it out. Now, with that said, while the teaser to Astartes 2 is visually breathtaking and filled with high-paced action, there are several hidden aspects that hint at what we might expect from the series and its potential plot. So, let's dive into that. First of all, the teaser opens with the text, "Many brotherhoods, united in purpose, we are the shield that slays." This has mistakenly been quoted by many as the motto of the Death Watch. But while it's not the official motto or war cry, this epithet is closely associated with the Death Watch, which is a unique and extremely elite chapter of veteran Space Marines under direct command of the Order Xenos, which is under the Inquisition. This being a reference to the Death Watch is further underlined at the end of the teaser, wherein Astartes is shown with the insignia of the chapter as well. Now, what is the Death Watch? Well, the Death Watch is in essence the Delta Force of the Adeptus Astartes. It is a chapter where only the most exceptional of Space Marines are chosen to serve, handpicked by the Order Xenos from across the many chapters of Adeptus Astartes across the galaxy. The Order Xenos, who oversees the Death Watch, is essentially a division dedicated to the eradication of all alien life. Now, selection into the Death Watch is not based solely on skill in battle, though that is paramount as well, but it's also based on a Marine's adaptability, knowledge of Xenos threats, as well as their ability to operate outside the rigid structures of their home chapter. This last part is particularly important since the Death Watch are known to operate at their own peril in many ways. They have a certain flexibility in terms of the rules they follow, and because of that, they don't want Marines who mindlessly adhere to the chapter's codex or doctrine, as this could lead to severe clashes of ideology, religion, and potentially even accusations of heresy, all of which could jeopardize the execution of a dangerous mission. Now, while some are chosen for their unparalleled marksmanship, others might be chosen for their expertise in tracking and exterminating alien horrors. Some Astartes are recruited for their resilience against the corrupting influences of the unknown as well. Because of this diverse selection process, the Death Watch's strength lies in their versatility of its operators, drawing upon the vast competences, unique skills, tactics, and expertise of veteran Astartes from diverse chapters, allowing them to adapt to any Xenos threat with unmatched precision. The Death Watch usually operates in small squads, known as kill teams, with their primary responsibility being to eliminate and neutralize Xenos threats in whatever form they might take, and usually how they themselves see fit. This can involve anything from direct combat to covert operations, intelligence gathering, or even in rare cases, exterminatus. The Death Watch are called upon to handle the most dangerous high-priority missions for the Imperium, working with an unparalleled flexibility, precision, and ruthless efficiency. Now, it is important to understand that the teaser doesn't actually show upcoming footage from the Astartes 2 series, but rather the teaser actually shows glimpses from the past of the Astartes, which have now been handpicked into the Death Watch. The first Astartes we introduced to is from the Retributor chapter. The Retributors are a mysterious loyalist Space Marine chapter with grey power armor and golden insignia, descendants of the Imperial Fists. They are Simon Peterson's own creation, the very chapter we follow in the first Astartes series, and they have become canon and part of the official Warhammer 40K universe following his hiring at Games Workshop. They are known for their relentless, efficient, and austere nature, being the type of Astartes that prioritize battlefield victories over glory. Their doctrine focuses on deploying small, self-sufficient units to eliminate high-risk targets, using impulsor squads in collaboration with other Imperial forces. They have participated in significant campaigns such as the Agosa Uprising, and their chapter badge features a golden gauntlet gripping a skull, often adorned with Imperial Aquila wings and lightning bolts. The second Astartes we're introduced to is from the chapter called Scythes of the Emperor. The Scythes of the Emperor trace their origins to the 199th Aegida Company of the Ultramarines Legions, from which they descend. They were stationed on the Acra world of Sotha during the late Horus Heresy to guard the Pharaohs, a powerful Xenos artifact of immense strategic value. Sotha was home to a hardy population of agriculturists who wielded scythes in their daily labor, playing a crucial role in supporting the Imperial presence on the planet. Over time, the warriors of the 199th formed a strong bond with the people they protected, adopting the scythe as their symbol in honor of both their guardianship as well as the traditions of the locals. During the second founding, Robert Gilliman officially granted them the name Scythes of the Emperor, elevating them to the status of a full-fledged chapter. Their insignia, crossed scythes, became a mark of their heritage and purpose, serving as both the Emperor's protectors and reapers of his enemies. Yet tragedy struck when Hive Fleet Kraken invaded Sotha. Despite their best efforts, the Scythes of the Emperor were nearly annihilated, their fortress monastery and homeworld lost to the relentless Xeno swarm. Only a handful of survivors managed to escape the catastrophe, turning them into a fleet-based chapter. Ever since, they have waged a desperate guerrilla-style war against the Tyranids, all while struggling to rebuild their strength. The chapter is defined by their grim, unrelenting determination, survivor mentality, and an unwavering hatred of the Tyranids. They frequently recruit from worlds ravaged by war, especially those affected by Tyranid incursions. Their black and yellow color scheme reflects both mourning and defiance, a tribute to their fallen brethren and their enduring fight against extinction. The third Astartes we're introduced to is from the Angels Vermilion. The Angels Vermilion are descendants of the Blood Angels chapter, created by their particular gene seed. They are known for their particularly intense thirst for blood, even compared to other descendants of Sanguinius. The gene seed flaw, the red thirst, manifests in them far more aggressively, making them notorious for their barely restrained bloodlust. Yet despite this savage nature, the Angels Vermilion remain loyal servants of the Imperium and strive as much as possible to control their urges. However, rumors persist that they have adopted dark practices to manage this condition. Some accounts even suggest that they secretly consume the blood of their fallen enemies to sate this unrelenting thirst. Their heraldry features deep red armor, emphasizing their connection to the Blood Angels and their namesake, while their tactics focus on brutal melee combat, striking swiftly and decisively before their thirst overtakes them. The chapter remains largely reclusive, rarely interacting with other Imperial forces outside of necessity, which has only led to further fueled speculation about the extent of their affliction. The fourth Astartes we see is from the Sons of Medusa. The Sons of Medusa are a successor chapter of the Iron Hands, created during the Justed founding in Millennium 35, after a schism within the Iron Hands over doctrinal disputes. They are staunch adherents to the Iron Creed, believing in the supremacy of machine over flesh, pushing the Iron Hands philosophy to even greater extremes. As a fleet-based chapter, the Sons of Medusa operate independently, striking at enemies of the Imperium with brutal efficiency. They are known for their cold logic, cybernetic augmentation, and heavy reliance on technology, often fielding large numbers of dreadnoughts, tanks, or other armored units in battle. Their green and white armor sets them apart visually from their Iron Hands forebears, yet they share the same disdain for weakness and flesh's limitations. Despite their effectiveness, the Sons of Medusa have a reputation for ruthlessness, showing little regard for collateral damage or civilian casualties in their relentless pursuit of victory. This has led to multiple accounts of tension with other Imperial factions, though their loyalty to the Emperor remains unquestioned. The fifth Astartes we're introduced to hails from the Mortifactors. The Mortifactors are a successor chapter of the Ultramarines, but they stand apart from their gene-sire due to their grim and death-obsessed culture. Unlike the disciplined and pragmatic Ultramarines, the Mortifactors are deeply spiritual warriors who revere death as both a guide and a source of strength. Hailing from the feral world of Pursual, the Mortifactors recruit from brutal death cults where survival and ritualistic combat are part of daily life. This has shaped them into a chapter that embraces morbid traditions, ancestor worship, and visions brought on by meditation within ossuaries filled with bones of the dead. They believe that by communing with the deceased, they gain insight and strength for future battles. On the battlefield, the Mortifactors are fear and relentless melee fighters, favoring brutal close-quarter combat. Their black armor with bone-white accents reflects their funereal aesthetic, and their chaplains hold a particularly revered status, guiding the chapter both spiritually and tactically. While still adhering to the Codex Astartes compared to other chapters who focus on military discipline and the strategic mindset of their Primarchs, the Mortifactors' obsession with ancestor worship and their belief in communing with the dead is often seen as excessive or even unprofessional by other Astartes. Their unconventional methods, such as their bone-filled ossuaries and morbid rituals, often clash with the more rational and efficient cultures of other Ultramarine successors, who view such practices as distractions from the mission at hand. Additionally, some chapters may view the Mortifactors' approach to death as a potential dangerous obsession that could hinder their ability to function in a rational, strategic way during battle, leading to friction and incoherence within the broader Imperium's military ranks. Now that covers the 5 Astartes displayed in the teaser, but the teaser ends with a shot of a Death Watch Astartes wearing Terminator armor. Now taking this ending as well as the entirety of the teaser into consideration, this could mean a multitude of things. Number 1. The appearance of an Astartes in Terminator armor hints at an impending battle of monumental importance. Terminator armor is reserved for the most elite Astartes and is often used in situations where overwhelming firepower and unmatched resilience are necessary to survive. This could indicate that the Death Watcher will face a threat so dire that even the standard strength of an elite kill team isn't enough. The Astartes clad in Terminator armor will likely serve as a key player in this battle, seeing that the armor's near impenetrable defense and devastating offensive capabilities will make them a vital part of the team's success. The use of Terminator armor might also be tied to a specific mission objective, such as securing a high-value target or protecting vital strategic assets. This segment would elevate the stakes even further, showcasing the immense risks involved when confronting a threat that demands the Death Watch's most advanced technology. Number 2. Since we're not dealing with Order Malleus, who focuses on hunting chaos, or the Ordo Hereticus, who focus on dealing with heretics and rebellion, the Death Watch's primary mission will most likely be to combat and eradicate Xenos threats, who could potentially jeopardize the safety of the Imperium. This means that the narrative for Astartes 2 is likely to revolve around a significant, potentially existential Xenos threat, such as Orcs, Tyranids, Aldari, Tau, Necrons, or potentially involve a previously unknown Xenos race, or a resurgence of an old threat which forces the Death Watch to respond quickly and decisively. Number 3. Though the Death Watch mission is to eradicate Xenos threats, there is more to their role within the Imperium besides that. Operating under the direct command of the Inquisition, the Astartes mission could involve more than just fighting external enemies. The Inquisition's secrecy, manipulation, and political machinations often play a role in shaping the Death Watch's objectives, which could potentially introduce a level of moral ambiguity to the story. The Inquisition, with its hidden agenda, may send the Death Watch on missions that go beyond simple Xenos eradication. Perhaps there's a deeper, more sinister plan at play, one that involves manipulating the Death Watch into becoming pawns in a much greater political game. This could introduce internal conflicts within the Imperium, as the Astartes question their loyalty and the true motives behind their missions. This could lead to things such as moral gray areas, where the story could explore the ethical dilemmas faced by the Death Watch, where they end up questioning if they're really serving the greater good of the Imperium, or if they're simply fulfilling the Inquisition's secretive agenda, regardless of the cost. Their missions could potentially end up blurring the lines between heroism and ruthlessness, making them potentially question whether the ends justify the means. This could further lead to internal conflicts, where tensions within the Death Watch could arise, seeing that the Astartes are from different chapters, each with their own beliefs and traditions, that could potentially lead to clashes over the political implications of their orders. The presence of the Inquisition in these missions may exacerbate these tensions as well, creating a rift between the Astartes themselves and their Inquisitional overseers. All of these subplots would allow the narrative to dive into the deeper aspects of Warhammer, where the lines between good and evil are often almost impossible to discern. So currently, Astartes 2 is set to be released somewhere in 2026, so there is more than plenty of time to develop fan theories and speculations, but more importantly, I want to hear your ideas and your theories. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear them all. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.